Hey guys, it's Liv, and we're here with our Week 2 game of the SPL, taking on Numb Nexus. And honestly, this is going to be probably the most hype match for us of the entire season. I've been helping Nexus with Mox for about 6 or 7 years at this point, and it is the first time we're actually finally getting to play in a real drafting setting. So for me personally, this is the game that I'm the most hyped for. If you guys enjoy though, want to see more content like this, of course, like and subscribe. And let's break down the matchup and what we ended up bringing, because Nexus has quite a few different things. Now, for everyone who has mentioned anything about my great task, I'm telling you guys right now, this is the week where it's going to pay off, because Nexus's GM power alone is the entire reason we actually found the thick fat. I alluded to it in my draft analysis. There was a certain ice type. It's obviously GM power. I mean, anyone with like 5 brain cells can look at the draft board, see Qian Pao is legal, and see thick fat. Like, it is such a problematic mon. I'm actually shocked that Qian Pao wasn't just banned, because even like Roaring Moon was banned, and I would argue Qian Pao is way more volatile in this format, in my opinion.
I got Tinkaton, I ain't worried about no Pao.
Things. The Ursa Luna is really terrifying here. And then the other thing that I'm really scared of is probably the Azelf. I would argue there's a lot of other mons that could do work here. Like anything in that top 7, I would say has reason to come to this game. But really, the Azelf, Ursa Luna, and Qian Pao are the 3 things I'm the most afraid of. With that in mind, though, we do obviously have our first mon here being none other than Tentacruel. And this Tentacruel should be very, very terrifying in a Nexus team. Thankfully for us, of course, we do have a pretty strong regenerator heavy duty boot set with Flip Turn, Sludge Bomb, Rapid Spin, and Toxic Spikes. This is gonna be great. It's just a nice Phys Def pivot.
We're talking about 1.5, Nick? We're just doing it. Oh, you mean like on the regular? Yeah, I like watching content at regular speed, but streams is still different.
Qian Pao. We should take a lot from this, obviously, even with like Sword of Ruin, but we'll still be able to at least keep some health in Tentacruel, meaning that if I need to pivot out with a Flip Turn, I can bring in other Pokemon later on that can revenge kill it, and I should be more than fine. This can also set up T-Spikes, which is great because I don't have to worry about things like Guts or Saluna that I would be activating because it's his almost setting ability, meaning we're actually very that's a 1.5 boost for Weather Ball.
A little bit, dual screens, just so we can kind of get through the night. I gotta take some meds in a little bit too, so not that I'll end the stream. I just say BRB. Heavy Slam. Ooh, I love a good Heatran that has Heavy Slam.
It's going to be taking Rocky Helmet damage, which is fantastic. And with Earth Eater, if Nexus does click a ground type move like Headlong Rush or Earthquake, then we're getting Battle Shield. Nexus does have a Scar.
This month's so cool. You made me really like Poltergeist. Like, I would have loved to see you use like the skill swap stuff, the bullshit, but this is really fun.
Not messing around with that before. Option this week. Well, not dual dance, I should say. Actually, it was dual dance at one point with Calm Mind ability, but we ended up actually opting for Healing Wish, as Enamored Life Orb does a ton of damage. I did contemplate as well going for some sort of resistance barrier here and just going with that Calm Mind.
This mon is disgusting.
Healing Wish should be great to try and give Poltergeist a second chance at winning the game, but it's also great if my... Now, I know Skarmory can have Wellbake Body, which if it does, then that's fine. At least we can scout for ability that way. Though Intimidate would also probably
Kingslayer, appreciate you,
Slithering, though. Slithering is both a resistance to fighting and ground, so I need to make sure to have a coverage move for it. It's still not bad to Intimidate Skarmory, and it would be better than going for close combat drops into my defense, but at the very least, though, it's still... I mean, we have both options for Skarmory, just in case. The Headlong Rush will probably be clicked into most of the Pokemon, not named Qian Pao, so we're probably fine anyway with just throwing on Temper Flare at TC. It doesn't really hurt us. And the Stealth Rocks here is mostly, again, just to try and get some nice consistent chip. The rock
Not too sure about Thick Fat. It's for Qian Pao, damn it. Stop this crap.
Rocks are going to be a lot more important than having a second Rapid Spinner, and this is like, no, we're here with the battle. We're taking on Nexus.
Alright. Stop this. Alright. This is a counter to this, easily. Mystical Fire Moonblast looks very good if you can weaken like AV Primarina. I like that a lot. Getting rid of this. The T-Spike is a really good call too into Nexus for sure. No hazard control, so it looks very good. It's really interesting because like T-Spike are objectively good into like me and a bunch of other people too, but I don't think they win quick enough. Crashes a 3 KO even from Bandit Pal. That's wild. Thank you, Genesis.
Fucking love Nexus. Honestly, Nexus is probably, and I mean this is like no aside to anyone else, but Nexus is easily like one of my favorite people I've ever met when it comes to doing YouTube stuff.
He's a great person.
I absolutely love Nexus. Like, Nexus is like a brother, quite literally. He's helped me with so much behind the scenes. I've known Nexus since Gen fucking 7 at this point, and it's really fucking cool to finally get to like play Nexus in like a draft league setting. It was really bummed actually last season
changed great to us,
but I've literally
after this week
years at this point.
So
it is very very cool to get to see.
Don't worry.
Like, finally firsthand getting to play him.
It's just for this game.
Decent.
Hey,
really, these are the 6 I expected. I'm actually shocked on Thundurus. I figured that could have maybe came over something, but I'm not. I couldn't even really tell you what. I just thought he was more likely than like Slitherwing or Skarm. I guess one of the two, more likely Slitherwing. Oh shit!
It's literally just for this game.
I knew my lead was Raikou, but I just forgot to enter everything.
She changes it right after
because I was yapping. But I knew my lead was Raikou
because we have infinite changes.
Shout out to Veno, my good pal Veno, for helping me build. Normally my prep squad is Veno and Harris when it comes to single stuff, but Harris both helps Nexus and and since I knew I had Veno as well, I told Harris just to feel free to help Nexus this week. But either way though, Babushka, that is the Ursa Luna. That's actually great that we get to figure out this ability early. So we're gonna obviously reveal Primordial Seed. That's fine. If it's Vessel, it is Vessel. That's perfectly fine.
That might be AV as hell.
We can go for at minimum the Reflection one, I would say. I know I can switch around this, and I do at least have, I have Heatran at least. I would like to potentially scout. I mean, maybe Nexus will overpredict. Also, it's Vessel of Ruin, so thankfully it's not like Guts or anything, so this will actually hit a lot less hard than it normally would, and with the Reflect Up I should be fine. But I kind of want to see if Nexus might like overpredict for this, especially because
just made some crazy changes
in the back. So do your worst, I guess. I mean, it's probably gonna be a Moosehead Scout at the very minimum. But seeing Vessel of Ruin, we can get a good damage to be a fun season, which will actually be really, really nice. So
hey, Nor.
We're gonna see what Nexus does here. At minimum, I know that I have my Raikou. So we're just gonna kind of run with this. It is really funny though that I am now coming off of using Raging Bolt for the last SPL season, and now I have Raikou for this season. We're gonna see Body Slam. Okay, that's fine. Honestly, that does nothing. Wait, hold on. That didn't even do 100. Wait a second. I'm actually very curious now.
You live EQ. Just barely.
Okay, so Body Slam. That did like no damage. Oh my goodness.
You'll live EQ.
So it's looking like that should have done around like 200. And this is. Oh wait, no. Free Reflect. Never mind. Never mind. I will take my time talking this out. 1 second. Okay, yeah. So this is not like an offensive Ursaluna, which is actually that's good to know. That's probably very spit out because that should have done more damage. We're gonna go for Weather Ball here. I'm just gonna scout. We're gonna scout.
He has Vessel of Ruin, I think, in Bulletproof.
Okay, cool. So that does nearly half. Actually, that's pretty decent damage. And it's weakness policy.
Oh
okay.
my god.
Wow. You know,
definitely not anymore.
Meta was not kidding when he said that this feels like something that Harris would do. Not like the weakness policy itself.
It's
but
just my
more so the fact that
volume.
like Harris would be the type of guy to bring like
He's
some
going for game.
and now I actually do need to switch because we're gonna bring in our Heatran, of course, here. And thankfully,
Homie's
it's
going
Body
for
Slam
game.
and probably Ground Move and Sword Stance. So we can get some decent mileage, of course, out of the Heatran at this point, thankfully. And we do have the Reflect Up, which should actually be really huge. And then, yeah. So this did pretty decent damage. It's probably more Fizz Death, if anything, if we're gonna be honest, or maybe it's like a faster Saluna. But it is definitely not very offensively invested, because that Body Slam did nothing to my Raikou. Because again, it should have done over 100, and it wasn't doing over 100. So I know for a fact that this is not offensive. I'm actually shocked at how little that did. If we're
I mean,
Earth
8, right?
Because this should be, yeah, it's only 32 HP. I'm actually really shocked at how little.
What? Is this a Drain Punch
okay
Body Slam?
I'm very okay with it. So Heavy Rain is gone.
I'm doing alright, Ryan.
Okay
Thank you.
And then, yeah, Heatran's gonna come in. Perfect.
Correct.
Well. We're seeing Body Slam. This means that, of course, Ursaluna's taking helmet damage, which is fantastic. It's now already under half. And I can get a pretty decent, Will-O-Wisp off, to be completely honest. I mean, Will-O-Wisp is gonna punish everything. I could also go for Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam would do some decent damage.
I like rocks.
What would do
I like ignore the threat, get up rocks.
Mixed Heatran. So Heavy Slam versus.
There's definitely Drain Punch, right? It has to be.
So it
What's
looks
the
like
last amount of health
Right
schedule?
oh, right, because this thing is
Never.
really, really heavy. I'm just gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp here, to be honest. I think long term that'll punish Ursaluna because it looks like it's gonna commit. Perfect. So now it's Burn, which is fantastic.
But
It
I'm
is
also literally
dealing
on
with the
meds,
fact that
right? I have
Rocky
to wake up
helmet,
every 4
and
hours.
we have Earth
so-
Eater, so we're fine. Drain Punch. Okay, so it is Drain Punch. That's actually good to know.
Jeez.
So now he's burned the Ursaluna, which is going to be great. It's going to take about as much from the helmet and the burn as it will be recovering. In fact, it might even be taking more damage from that, which is fantastic. Because I can actually just go for rocks now.
That's crazy.
And thankfully with my Soul Set
I mean, it
Screen,
is
we're
fully
actually
Fizz Death Heatran.
I feel like I definitely have some decent positioning to this, and this Ursaluna is actually fire at this point, which is really, really nice. I'm actually glad that Nexus didn't go for some sort of like really aggressive offensive Ursaluna or like some sort of stamina build, because that's actually gonna help a lot. Now that fourth move is something like Rest, then I'll kind of work around it, but at least it's not Sleep Talk, so I can just go for Flamethrower for a couple turns, and then I can burn it when it's gonna wake up, so that'll be more than fine. Because frankly, even without the burn, that's not gonna be an issue. Nexus is gonna preserve. I'm gonna guess it's Primarina. La Prima, that has to be Primarina, right? There's no world where it isn't. Yeah, that's Primarina. Okay, cool.
Yeah, rocks for sure. I mean, you know, there's no hazard control on Nexus side. Why not?
Honestly, I'm not really afraid of either with this.
Yeah, this worked really well for.
I think my play is always to just go Tentacruel here, because even if this has coverage for Tentacruel, I'm not really too concerned. We're most likely going to see
it's
that
bad
it's
because
go
it's
anyway, if we're going to be honest. I
Earth Eater Heatran lagging.
Keep up that offensive momentum, because currently Nexus is very down on offensive momentum. Yeah, flip turn. Okay, cool. So you already see flip turn. Bets are this is probably some sort of AV regen set. I can't imagine.
So Azoth comes out now.
Here, but I feel like regen is just a lot better. This isn't like Manaphy where it's gonna be like a win con or anything. This is Primarina where I feel like that regen is gonna be so obvious. That's a though we actually can't tell right now because even if it is,
I'm saying Copperage should have it as an exclusive move.
I got my rocks after Prim came in, so unfortunately we're not really gonna see if it's regen for a couple more turns. But Nexus did go for a U-turn here, which is honestly fine. The Ursaluna is gonna take quite a bit if it does decide to come in. If Skarmory comes in, I can actually get up T-Spikes, which will be huge.
Sometimes this guy hit
hard.
hard.
Azelf. Okay, Azelf came in. Azelf at least is not boots, which is good to know. It's probably life orb.
You can't double up on abilities.
Yeah, okay, this is,
you can have 2, but you can't,
this is
share.
This is Sheer Force. I was gonna say because the other ability was definitely Psychic Surge, but that's also honestly fine to know.
So this is Sheer Force
I can bring
Azelf,
in my Heatran here,
which is really nasty here.
I will say a little bit of an issue with the Azelf is if it does predict and if it maybe goes for like a Focus Blast, that's a little bit scary. And honestly, even like a Sheer Force Psychic is gonna do quite a bit of damage, or like a Thunderbolt.
It wishes to learn Focus Blast.
Okay, that's perfect, fine. Yeah, that does like 80. That's actually not great. Okay.
Thank you, Incineroar. I'm doing alright.
I think I kind of need to just stack. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have a great switch into this. That's it. The Witch is more because I'm getting.
That's a Witch to learn Focus Blast. Homie has Drain Punch.
Looks like Flamethrower does a bit more. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We'll go for Flamethrower. Should still do it, yo. We're actually gonna see my opponent switch, which actually that's perfectly fine. La Prima comes in. Okay. La Prima is perfectly fine. Just to be safe, I'm gonna go for.
I think you get smoked
if
you try, Brody.
Letting the Prima go for flip turn here, because I would actually rather next.
It doesn't have Focus Blast. I'm doing alright, Trippy. How are you, my friend?
Because the last thing I want is to try and pivot around that Azelf really sloppily, because that is kind of a terrifying pick. That's it though. Azelf did about 80 with the Psychic, so let's count that out. So this is Sheer Force. We know that for a fact.
I love Dragon Ball Hydreigon.
This is looking to be.
That guy
is looking to not
funny
be using it. That might be Scarf. It might be like Scarf or I mean it's definitely not like Sash or anything. And thankfully we did get hit. This might be Scarf Azelf, which is good to know. Because Scarf Azelf technically could actually be a this game. It's decent for like outpacing Escarada, for example. It could also be. I think it could be a lot of different items if we're being honest. But it's not boots. We know it's not boots, and we know Psychic and then it's switched. So I doubt that it's not Scarf. Which actually
no, rocks are great.
If it's Scarf, that's actually really fun. That said, though, if Premium comes back into
the Rocky
full,
helmet's
then we know
so
it's
nasty
at
too.
least a
Like,
generator. Otherwise, we know it is Volt Absorb. But it's good to know regardless.
I have no idea. It'll let you share it probably in a couple days.
Okay. We can probably just go and let Heatran die at this point. I mean, there's not really a reason to preserve, if we're gonna be completely honest. I think I just go, let it die, and I figure out my replacement based on the coverage that this goes for.
I really don't think it'd do well in most of HOs.
Alright. Let's see. So, this one for Psychic. My best play into Psychic. I mean, I don't have a great switch in a Psychic.
It's Sheer Force Enamorus, yeah.
That said, though, how much does Scarlet
I
Sheer Force
love
Diesel do
screens on electrics.
Enamorus?
This is a tough one, though. Because, like, you can go Poltergeist and, like, try and force it out.
It does a ton. So we actually just go straight for the Moonblast here. I know I could definitely go for like an agility, but well, okay, I could in theory go for an agility, I should say. But the issue being though is that if this is actually Starve Azelf, I'm sacking my Enam for no reason. I'd rather just go for the Moonblast and profit.
No, that makes
Nexus
sense.
does not have great switches to this mon whatsoever, and it's just gonna deal some really high damage regardless of what comes in. Because Moonblast, this is just.
And he wants
Azelf.
This mon just clicks versus everything.
So we're pretty okay with that. We're actually very okay with that. Thankfully, we're Life Orb Moonblast, and this is also Sheer Force off of like 135 special attack and Modest. There's nothing on Nexus's team that wants to take this. Cool. Okay. So Nexus is switching out. This is definitely Skarmory, right? No, it looks like Ursaluna's coming in. Okay, well, Ursaluna's gonna die, and I'm actually
Goodbye, Ursa.
Cool. Perfect, okay. Alright, so we've killed the Ursaluna, which is actually, that is a huge threat off my shoulders. That said, Pow is coming in. Pow is objectively coming in, but Nexus has no hazards up, which is really good. The fact that Nexus has no hazards up means that I can actually go to my Tusk and I can properly check this thing. Because there's not a set in the world that isn't going to get bullied by my Tusk, because we're very Phys invested with Thick Fat. It is the reason, and it is the only reason I drafted Thick Fat Great Tusk. There's no other matchup in the world that I got it for, but this mon was so fucking terrifying that it does deem counterpicking. It is such an egregious allow that it deems counterpicking. Because Pow is fucking stupid. Everyone who's played in draft leagues with Pow in any format knows it's fucking stupid. So Pow does warrant counterpicking, and this mon literally is gonna get counterpicked by my Tusk. And it's very funny that it is a great Tusk, but yeah. We're see Honda, that is definitely Pow. There's no world where it isn't Pow. Cool. So even Adamant should get kind of fucked by my Tusk, because there's no hazards up. My greatest concern would be, I guess,
I love that she has double Stealth Rock,
because if this is
just in case.
I can get that information really early on, thankfully. So we're 184, 232. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Let me pull that in count real quick. I need to remember to import this stuff next time, but it is what it is. And then, let's see. She and Pow. Perfect. Alright, so this is actually really fine.
This is not about to kill.
Wait, this is really, really fine. Because this is Sword Stance. So that means, like, even if it's Life Orb, I actually guarantee taking it on. Which is huge. My Tusk should be able to do this at this one. 221. Never mind. We give it this week.
Pow's ability? I think it's Sword of Ruin or
yeah, I'm just gonna go for close combat here.
Magic Guard.
I have no reason not to. Even if it's Focus Sash, I can revenge it later on. So I'm not
this one isn't Sword of Ruin, I think, though. It's Magic Guard or Adaptability.
Yeah, I just need to make sure that I can like actually outrun this. In hindsight, maybe going for the risking the 2 KO would have been kind of whatever, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It still has to hit 2 times. Oh, it's not even proccing my citrus right now.
Yum.
Okay, cool.
Yum.
That's fine. So it's Sword Stance.
That's plus 2.
That's fine. That's actually great. Okay.
True picks.
Ooh, wait. So this is Focus Sash. Why did that do no damage? Oh my god, this is Magic Guard.
No, you can use it.
That's right, it's Magic Guard.
That's just stronger. Oh, it's Sash Magic Guard, I forgot.
Okay, cool. So, we do have to switch, actually. But that's actually really good, because my Tether Curl is actually attack now. I can't believe I missed that, but that's actually important information as fuck.
No, you just switch back.
Icicle Crash. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. Yeah, that's actually okay.
Crunch kills, and then Tusk comes back in.
As far as going into my... I mean, honestly, I don't even know if I need to. Yeah, my Lash Out's looking to do 282. I should actually switch. I should switch around this.
Thank you, Sam.
Not that bad.
How are you,
I can actually just go right back into my Tusk, because in a worst case scenario, right? So Nexus did, let me pull out a calculator roll. Actually, I can just go. Let's see. So,
Crunch activates Citrus.
232. Okay, cool. So, Icicle Crash.
Do you think
Icicle Crash would peak at 188. So even if it does, no, I'm gonna go into Wycombe here.
It's really fun,
actually, no, I'm just gonna go for a Flip Charm here. If Nexus goes for the Dark type move, so it goes for Dark Crush. Okay, cool. I don't mind letting this go down, I'll be honest.
Better to be safe.
I have other means around the rest of the team, this isn't that big of a deal. And I can just go into my Tusk here. And I can actually just go for a Rapid Spin, which is decent. So I'm okay with that. Actually, right, I don't know Rapid Spin, I forgot. I have Temper Flare. Well, Temper Flare is still not bad. And it honestly is probably gonna be my best means of just making sure that I'm kind of okay for later on.
Oh, my order's partially shipped. Oh yeah.
Let's see. I mean, really, I've set a Prim that wasn't exactly the most useful for anything, so I'm kind of okay with this. Let's see.
She has Temper Flare for...
We're gonna see Skarmory come in. Okay, well, this is still gonna actually take some decent damage from the Temper Flare, which is actually very okay. Wall big body. Okay, that's fine.
Never mind.
Honestly,
big body
good
this
prediction
time.
by Nexus. I'll be honest, but I mean, Raikou can still just kind of come in, and I can just go for screens now.
And Slither Wing.
Nexus will go for hazards, obviously, but he doesn't know I don't have Rapid Spin on my Tusk, and I still do have Boots on my Poltergeist, so I'm okay with this. I'm okay with all of this, actually, in fact. And thankfully, it's not sort of ruin on Pow, so I can probably even, dare I say, just go for a Shell Smash and win.
We'll watch my opponent's side, yeah.
Because I'm not really actually seeing... I guess Azelf would be the counter. It'd be Azelf plus Pow would be the response, which is why he's saving it. Because that last move is definitely Sucker Punch, which means that my Heatran was...
Rock's already up. It's just Magic Guard on Chambao.
That said, though, I still do feel fine. I can just go into Raikou. Even if it is Volt Absorb on Primarina, I'm not really too concerned with that. Frankly, Nexus still has to take a ton of damage from electric moves anyway at this point, so I'm pretty okay with this. And we're gonna see. I mean, we actually did see leftovers pop already. Let's see.
Primarina could be Volt Absorb though, like you said, so.
Cool. Alright, so it's leftover Skarmory with Wall Big Body. This Thunder's gonna maul it, for the record, and I'm really okay with that. Actually, it's Volt Switch, right? I'm gonna go for Reflect. I would like to get up for Reflect. I think it'll be important. I might even just go for Dual Screen if we're being honest, but I'd like to get Reflect up first, because I do think it's a lot more important, despite the Azelf and Prim still being pretty decent threats. And if Skarm's gonna try and 3-hazard me, I don't really mind it, to be honest, because I can always set up with Poltergeist. I would just like to verify if it has Whirlwind or not first, but it's gonna go for the spikes first, regardless. And I also do have a Nam, actually, and a Nam should still get quite a hit off, so we're actually pretty okay. I can go for Volt plus Mystical Fire. If Mystical Fire doesn't have great switches, it's really just Prim, but if Prim comes in, I mean, I can just go for the... I can just go for the Moonblast, and that'll still do quite a bit.
This is on speed up, yeah.
So I'm actually very okay with that. We're gonna see Withdraw for Demon 1. If this is Primarina, then we know. Yep, it's Primarina. So Nexus is definitely Volt Absorb, which is really good to know, because I did not click Volt Switch, despite the obvious.
That's amazing. So you get up the other screen, too.
We're going to go for a light screen here. We'll take advantage of this. And then I'm just going to spam Weather Ball, because I actually don't really have a better switch in despite that. I have Mons that can better respond, but not better switching. And that is a very important distinction to note here. But I honestly don't
does talk this fast.
We're going to see regardless, though. We've actually gotten some pretty decent information on Nexus' team so far. For one, Nexus is going to kind of have to struggle to just take on this Raikou. We're going to see Surf and Prim. That's okay. Yeah, it does nothing. Because my Weather Ball is still going to deal quite a bit of damage here. So I'm going to let my Raikou go down, and then I'm going to try and go into a Nam and just start clicking buttons. I think that's kind of okay for me. Because even if Nexus does switch, there's no water resist outside of Prim. So Prim being on the field is fine, because I can just start going for really decent damage anyway, and wear down the Prim, because it's not for Generator. So this is just permanent damage on Prim. Yeah, it's a little bit damage, but it is real good damage. I don't really mind this. And then, yeah, one more turn. And if Nexus switches, I mean, it's a ton of damage that something else is taking. So I'm not really too concerned with that. And I still have, like, 5 more turns of screens that Nexus has to worry about. Thankfully, I mean, my Nam should deal a ton of damage to this Prim, because Enamorus is just that broken. Let's see. Yeah, because it's Flame Force.
No, I don't know.
Sheer Force. Yeah, Moonblast should kill at least.
Ooh.
Oh, what are you gonna kill? Okay, that's still fine.
I guess Pow?
I'm just gonna click Weather Ball until he kills me. Because if Pow comes in, cool. If Azel comes in, it's a
rush. Doing alright,
if
fam.
Skarmory
I gotta take my medicine in like 2
still
minutes.
gonna half with Weather Ball. And if Slither Wing comes in, it looks like it's Slither Wing. Okay. This is still fine. It's gonna be like what, first impression most likely? I'm okay with that. That's fine. We're gonna go for Weather Ball. Because even first impression, that's fine. It just means it's slower for later. And my Nam just gets a free Moonblast off of the scene. Yeah, first impression, cool. Okay. I respect it. I respect the Slither Wing farm.
He's trying to get max kills with it. It's a Nam time, right?
Alright, yeah, we just go into a Nam here. I could technically just start setting up with T, but I would like to save that for a bit longer, because of the fact there is still a looming threat of these
I think your agility for sure.
So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to proc an agility now, because when Pow comes in, I should be able to... I did creep Pow, right? I did not creep Pow. Well, Pow's not coming in hard right now anyway, if we're being honest. It would be more like a Skarmory, and I'm kind of okay with responding to that too. So we're going to go for agility first.
Sheer Force Moonblast is so strong, dude.
Yeah, I'm confident Pow is not coming in hard here. And if it does, I might even take the hit there. I say
Moonblast is going to do so much to Skarm.
Let's see, I'm actually curious now. Oh, actually, yeah, we do just take that. Cool. Yeah, this Pow is not killing me, which is fantastic. So I could actually just Moonblast it later, and that's perfectly fine, because I just need the Pow gone, and then I can win. Primarina comes in, that's fine. If it's not Assault Vest, we're good. And it's Boots, yeah. Okay, cool. So we should be fine to Moonblast this, and it's going to take so much damage. So we're going to go for a Moonblast, and I'm just going to claim. We might not kill, but we're going to get near kill, and with the screens up, I should be more than fine. Oh, right, I have screens up. That's even less damage we're taking. I completely forgot we have screens up for like 4 more turns. So this Nam is just going to go kind of wild.
Wait, the Primarina was...
I don't think Nexus has a great response.
Was AV. It wasn't Volt Absorb.
Like if that Azelf goes down and the Prim goes down, then my Tusk
it was Regen, it wasn't Volt Absorb.
Because even despite the Wall Big Body Skarm, I can just click close combat until everything dies. Yeah, Prim is basically dead.
It's AV, we're just not Volt Absorb. What the hell?
That's fine. Even with the special attack drop, honestly, we're fine. Because Nexus still takes so much damage from everything that we're okay. If Skarmory comes in here, that's fine. I could just click... I could honestly just click Mystical Fire this turn, I'll be honest. I should have done that. But it is what it is. Oh, right, no, because it's Wall Big Body. That's why. Well, that's a little bit annoying, actually, I can't lie. But it is what it is. It's still gonna take so much damage from Moonblast, I'm not too concerned. Because at the end of the day, it is a Skarmory. Yeah, I'm trying to look through my coverage pool, actually, and see if I had something better for that, but I forgot I definitely do not. Well, it is what it is. It's still gonna take probably, like, what, 30%? Because it's not that Spidef. I mean, Skarm is a really weak Pokemon overall, Spidef-wise.
If he goes Skarm gets 2 shots.
Yeah, we should be fine.
And then everything might just die.
In a situation where I could farm with the endgame with T. so I'm pretty okay.
No Terra, correct.
Moonblast is gonna kill Prim. Cool.
That's another kill for Enamorus too.
And I'm very glad that Nexus actually let that go down. Pow is gonna probably come in here, but I'm okay with that.
I agree with you.
Because Pow still has to hit its Ice Cold Crash. And I just realized actually Pow will kill.
Lucky did.
Great
juice.
Because Pow is still gonna miss. It's just gonna miss, like if we're being honest. Actually Pow might not. Oh no, yeah, Pow will kill. Unless it's like not invested, Pow will guarantee killing Crash. But that's Nexus doesn't actually know that. So we're okay with this. Realistically, what likely comes in is the Skarmory. If not Pow, it's definitely one of the two. There's no way Azelf comes in because Azelf is just getting thrown. Demon 1, yeah, that's Pow. Okay, cool. No, it's Skarm. Okay, well, never mind.
Doesn't take so much from Moonblast.
This is actually very okay because I can kind of just set up until I win. Well, not set up. No, I can just go for Moonblast here. Moonblast will still do so much damage. I'm not too concerned. Oh
my god.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way that code. There's no world where that.
Okay, to be fair, if there was no special attack drop,
well,
that did so much. What the hell?
Oh shit.
Why did it die from full?
Yeah, I mean, if I kill Azelf, Tusk actually just wins. Pow still needs to hit a Crash, and if Pow goes for Crash, that's fine. I just go into Tusk.
Yeah, there's like 70 something exactly.
Because I just go for Headlong Rush at this point, and I have nothing in beating me.
What did Nexus
even if
click
Slitherwing
there?
comes in, I just go for Temper Flare into it. So yeah, and Azelf can't switch in hard on
that. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you.
So we're actually doing kind of good. Yeah, I'm actually doing really good, I would say.
Bird.
So I'll let this go down. For sure. I have no reason not to. In all honesty, I probably should have went for an agility, but if I had Whirlwind, that was where things kind of got a bit dicey.
Much love.
Slitherwing's coming in. Why is Slitherwing coming in? Is it like trying to chip me into range or something? Because this makes Tusk a lot more expendable, so I'm actually okay with that.
Just keep clicking.
I'm actually gonna go for another agility on this. Let me make sure. Because this shouldn't actually get anything from me, right? Like this gets nothing from me.
Little wild charge. Oh shoot.
Let's see physical move.
Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta go take my med. All right, let's get back to this game.
It gets wild charge, I guess. I guess what abilities is Slitherwing have? Hidden ones and Scrappy. Yeah, that's still fine. I'm going for agility again.
I can't wait for the 2
yeah, I think this might actually be the reason this game. If Nexus just went Pow. Actually, okay. I'm gonna preface real quick. Technically, if this was timid and Nexus knew it was timid, technically speaking, actually Pow would be a throw. And Azelf would actually be the better option. But I still stand by the fact though that Slithering was. I mean, maybe I guess his Pow was like not invested at all. But even still though, Twizzy. Okay, I think this was Azelf. Cool. So I can actually just Moonblast twice and I think I win.
Damn, that crit just said goodbye.
Let's see that, because we hit like, I forget what my speed tier is. Oh, we crit this too. I mean, honestly, I think we did just creep this regardless.
That's kill number 3 for Enamorus.
Creeps, right? Yeah, we actually just barely creep it. It's completely accidental though. That was not what my speed benchmark was meant to be.
That is kill number 3.
That said though, Nexus is trying to whittle us down with first impression kills, but that just means that the teacup wins. So we're actually kind of okay with that too. First impression, yeah, that's fine.
Number 4 for Enamorus this game.
Kill the Azelf, but that's a discussion behind
kill number 5 to be Pow. Pow doesn't have Ice Shard.
It's funny, but it did not matter. This Skarmory crit though, that was kind of insane.
That was huge.
Because that actually
that
very much
dying,
mattered.
exploding.
And I think, dare I say, it might have won me the game. Because that was still actually no, after watching was not a roll, but like I digress.
Thank God.
The Enam though claimed 6. Oh no, my Shard could have picked me off, I guess. Okay, so that's what Nexus was doing. Oh wait.
Oh yeah, you killed Ursaluna. It was already 5.
Oh, so then
crap.
I'm gonna give it to Tusk because I think it's funnier. But yeah.
Damn, still crazy.
Let's see.
5 kills for Enamorus this game is crazy. And that spike.
We get our tickers popped.
And there it is. Thick Fat proving
we'll take that.
Why you had it for this.
And then yeah, I'm gonna go for combat.
Almost went for Stealth Rock. Very strong. Super effective into the Ice type.
Beautiful. We love that. We love to see this.
Guys, make sure you check out everybody below. Check out Liv.
Like I can't imagine this isn't.
Check out Nexus.
It was a really close game. Actually, at this point,
Callum, Sway, etc., etc. I have their links down below. Please check them out.
All right, yeah, GG. Very close game for sure. I will say, like, I had a couple of gripes with certain turns, but honestly, I think really the Skarm crit kind of fucked Nexus really badly. But
yeah, that crit was wild. But that Skarm just dropping from full was so funny. Crazy though. Unfortunate for Nexus, but I will say, I think you proved that the Thick Fat helped you on this matchup more than anything else, which is really important. I really hope Nexus doesn't fall asleep, by the way, because he has changes he wants to put. Skarm getting one shot was so freaking crazy.